Good morning, friends. This is a follow-up video for my project Rested Graphs. Rested Graphs is a graph database where we saw in my last video. It allows us to use nodes, edges, and also perform some operations on them. We saw it was in the CLI form, and there has been an update to it. The update is that we have pushed it into NPM and Python repository, so we can use that in our applications. So, without much further ado, let's get started. So, this is what we had till our last iteration. I will run some quick tests and we will see what was there here. So, you see, we have, let me make it here. We have nodes connected with edges. Now, each of them have some custom data in JSON format within them, but we see only labels here. That is fine. Now, to get started, we will create a Python project and initialize a notebook. We'll say hello to Jupiter. Okay, until it gets started. We see we have it published on NPM and Python repository. There isn't much documentation here, but if you focus, you go to my site slash rested graphs, and you will see a pretty much extensive document here, which will outline the usage and setting up of rested graphs. So we will get started with this. So we are set up with Jupyter and I'll install this. It is there. We will initialize rested graphs. Here it is. So the initialization includes figuring out the volumes and some loggers where your data will be stored. We saw the data here, it's stored in form of collections. Collection got created. You can, in similar fashion, delete a collection or clear that collection. Let's see what interesting is going on under a collection. We see the collection is empty. Fine. We will add a few notes on that. The important thing to remember is a node must have a label that is required. We'll go ahead and add this node. If we look it up again, we will see our two nodes P1 and P2 are added. Fine. Let's update a node. So update here is adding a new field. We have updated that and a quick lookup will tell us that it is updated. Fine. After update, we can remove some nodes, similar fashion. We can go with edges as well, add, remove. Now, the interesting stuff. The interesting thing here is we can query the added nodes in the similar fashion as we query a typical MongoDB. We have this operators equal to, not equal, less than equal to, greater than equal to n. So these operators will help us form a query, and these queries will help us figure out what data we have and retrieve that. So, but starting that, before that, We will add some nodes in bulk. We have bulk operations where we can add these nodes from a file. So let's say you have a JSON dump of different types of nodes. You can use that. I have it here with me. Yep. I have added 50 nodes. Apart from that, I will add add edges also to my collection from this path. So I have added 19 edges. Fine. Let's try some querying. So we see all things here greater than, equals, along with combinations with operators and or things like that. So I'll take a query and first let's start with only greater than. We see we have 37 matches. So what if we narrow it down to a name as well? We have two matches. What are those? You, this is the data what we entered. James Taylor from India and Canada. That's fine. So the idea here is that we have created a graph database which lets us play with nodes, edges, and querying on them, along with their own CRUD operations. So at this stage, now what we want to do is we want to create a set of operations which will help us in doing some complex problems. Let's say traversals or shortest path, something like that. Next step is to add those kind of features. Apart from that, another next step is to add a interface, make it a standalone database, right? The CLI is standalone, but there is no way to interact it with applications. We will make it standalone in our next iteration, use it with our applications, and visualize this data in a visual form. So that was it. If you have any comments or suggestions, you know where to go. You can go over to my site and find me there. Apart from that, there's nothing much from my side. Signing off. See you.